Okay, just gonna wait about maybe 3 to 4 minutes for people to come in, if anyone does. Gonna start at 4:35 Eastern, so about 3 to 4 minutes. Hope everyone's doing well today. Gonna be starting in about 3 or 4 minutes. Hey, Junko, welcome. Gonna be about maybe another 2 minutes, man. Then I'm gonna start. Just waiting to see if people come in. That's right. Represent. Okay, just be about another minute, and then we'll start. Just waiting to see if anyone else comes in. Thanks for joining me. Sure. Yeah, it's a pretty chill spot. I wanted to do it in there, but it's fucking filled with fire ants today. Alrighty. Nah, not gonna blaze. At least not now. But I would with Eddie Bravo, like we were talking about the other day. How funny would shit be? All right, guys, we're gonna get started here. I want to thank everyone for joining me, and today kind of confirms just my suspicions that the moon is much closer than we've ever been than we've been told. NASA claims that the moon is 238,000 miles away. I've got a camera that has an amazing zoom. It's an 83 times optical zoom. And I can zoom in on the moon with the moon's craters. And I can see amazing things. And there's a better camera than that. I use the Nikon P900. There's also the Nikon P1000 that I believe goes to 128 times optical zoom. And you can look on YouTube and you'll see some other people that use that camera and they can get even closer. Ever since I started filming the moon, it never sat right with me that the moon is 238,000 miles away. It makes no sense to me because just just based on logic that my camera shouldn't be able to zoom that far in on the moon. I mean, if it was relatively a decent distance, maybe. But even then, you know, the technology doesn't make any sense that I have a camera that can do that. But that's neither here or there. NASA repeatedly lies to us. Scientists repeatedly lie to us. Our elected officials lie to us. Our teachers in school are taught to lie to us. Religions lie to us and take advantage of our spirituality. So it seems like information is kind of leaking like a sieve lately and just kind of, I don't know, coming out of nowhere. Like, so for instance, I've got 3 articles. One is by, let's see, one's by RT.com, Russia Today, and then one's by PBS, which is a shit show. And then you've got psi.esa.int, which is a website, and basically these articles say, these are the 3 headlines. The first one is RT, which is Staggering Discovery Reveals Moon Lies Inside Earth's Atmosphere. The second one says Earth's atmosphere stretches out to the moon and beyond. The third one, which is PBS, says if this space study is right, humans have never left Earth's atmosphere. Now, assuming this were true, don't you think NASA would have shared this with us a long time ago? Don't you think your science textbooks would have shared this with us a long time ago? Don't you think they would have known this for a long time? To me, it seems fairly obvious, but you know, who the heck knows? My guess is as good as everyone else's, and again, I'm an amateur here. I don't pretend to know everything about the moon, and I don't pretend to know everything about space and astrology and all that stuff. I have very, very limited basic knowledge, but based on using my camera, it makes no sense, and I've said many times in my videos that I don't believe the moon is 238,000 miles away. I can't believe it. So let's just read the RT article, because that's the short one, and the other ones, they're okay, but I mean they basically just confirm one another. This one's fairly short. I don't want to hold up everyone's time, so here we go. The Earth's atmosphere is much bigger than previously thought. Extending far beyond the moon, a team of scientists have revealed. The amazing discovery was made thanks to data that has been sitting unexamined for over 20 years. We now know that the atmosphere surrounding our planet stretches out to 391,464 miles away and is 50 times the diameter of Earth, thanks to the discovery and analysis of decades-old data by scientists at Russia's Space Research Institute. It means that the moon is part of our atmosphere and not outside of it. In fact, it's actually located right in the middle of our atmosphere at an average distance of 238,855 miles, or 384,400 kilometers. Okay, the moon flies through Earth's atmosphere, explains study author physicist Igor Belikin of Russia's Space Research Institute. The jaw-dropping data was collected by the NASA and the European Space Agency Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. That's also short for SOHO, like New York. Okay, and then this was between 1996 and 1998 and had been gathering dust in the archive since then. SOHO unwillingly gathered the groundbreaking information when it was mapping the geocorona, which is the layer of the hydrogen atoms located where the atmosphere merges with outer space. The thin layer glows in far ultraviolet light, which can only be seen from space and is difficult to measure. Now that's all good and fine. You know, they can say that all they want, but I don't believe it. You know, I don't like that last part. The thin layer glows in far ultraviolet because it can only be seen from space and is difficult to measure. That may be true, but no one is going to tell me that they didn't know that years ago before they went to the moon. I mean, so make of it what you will. That's just my opinion. Okay. Because of this, it was until now thought to be about 200,000 kilometers or 124,000 miles from Earth, as that is the point to which solar radiation pressure would override Earth's gravity. You also have to take into account the Van Allen radiation belt, and I don't know how you would measure that in comparison with this, but I would imagine that these are pretty important things for a space agency to know prior to going to the moon with that shit show that the NASA put on for us. Whether we believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, that's fine. I don't believe that the footage we were given of us going to the moon is real. I don't believe it at all. I believe we probably did go, and we might even have a base there, but not with the way we were told, that's all. Okay. SOHO's SWAN instrument has the ability to measure far ultraviolet emissions from hydrogen atoms, allowing it to make its amazing observation of the geocorona. Now we have this in quotes. Data archived many years ago can often be exploited for new science, says SOHO project scientist Bernard Fleck of the European Space Agency. He also said, this discovery highlights the value of data collected over 20 years ago and the exceptional performance of SOHO. Okay? Now, try finding any more mainstream stuff about this. You won't find it. You're not going to find it. You're going to see, and again, the one outlet that covered it in America was PBS. And you should if you go through this thing, it's a doozy, because there is a physicist who had literally nothing to do with the project. Of course, they interview his ass, and he chimes in. He wasn't even involved. And then basically he starts rambling on saying that, oh, well, this is the future for us identifying exoplanets and life on other planets, blah, blah, blah. So, again, we're dealing with, just idiots who spout off their mouth and they say to us, oh, well, they won't even acknowledge that there's life outside of here. And I think it's just stupid. And they make it sound like, these are the ways, this is because of this new research, it's a way for us to find more habitable zones. I don't understand why they even put this guy in here, because he doesn't have anything to do with this project, and he's spouting off stuff he shouldn't even be talking about. But, then again, he's a hired gun too, so I guess we can't blame him, right? Okay. Let's see what else here. And I'll read this first part off of the PBS article. The Earth's atmosphere is described as a fragile coat wrapping around the planet, comparable in scale to an apple's skin protecting the fruit. For more than half a century, even before the Apollo 16 mission captured the first ultraviolet images of Earth, researchers knew that the outermost atmospheric layer, the geocorona, extends far beyond the denser surface level air that we breathe. So if that's the case, how come we've never really, I was never taught that. I don't remember any of that. But yet apparently they've known this the whole time. It's almost like the PBS article just starts off by just bullshitting us. I don't know. But that's really about it. But it's again, to me it just confirms that the moon is much closer than we're taught. I mean, it just makes no sense that it's 238,000 miles away. So if you guys want to chat for a couple minutes, that's cool, but probably go another couple minutes. So let me just say hi here. Okay. Welcome, Birdie. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, hon. And welcome, Desert Rat. Let's see. Let me go up here. Can you zoom in on the moon's pixels? I don't even really know how to respond to that, because I don't know what I believe about the moon. My suspicion is that it is a hollowed out planetoid type body, but I believe it does have a type of like a layer around it, almost like a holographic layer of some sorts, or just like a bubble that also can be a form of like a projection screen that we kind of see here on Earth. But I do think I don't think it's perfect, because I think it exposes itself by accident at times, or maybe it does on purpose. I have no clue, but I have my suspicions on that one. And when I caught that moon scanner video and the moon smoking video, especially the moon scanner thing, that's what really made me wonder about is it an actual physical object? I don't know. And I've also caught birds. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of my videos. I've caught birds literally flying around the moon. If I'm zoomed in even 75 or 80 times onto the moon, there is no way I should see a clear, crystal clear picture of a bird flying across the moon. Or in some cases, it looked like possibly a weird UFO. But there was at least a few times I caught birds, and there was one time that I caught that looked like something that it resembled a bird, but it didn't seem to fly like a bird. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, here. Okay, Junko. Could it be that the moon lies within Earth's atmosphere, and by that, the Van is outside of that? That's very possible. But again, so here we go asking questions that are logical, but is NASA going to give us that answer? I mean, I don't even think NASA's acknowledged this yet, so I don't know. And if the Van Allen radiation belt is outside of that, then here's another question. They say that they can't get, well, there's been multiple claims that we don't have, quote unquote, the technology to go back to the moon. A NASA scientist has said it himself. You can look up the video. Maybe I might post it on my channel sometime. And he basically admitted that the technology is, quote unquote, lost, and we can't go back to the moon because of it, or that's the reason why we haven't gone back yet. Meanwhile, we hear shit all the time that we're going back to the moon, whatever. So the Van Allen radiation belt may be outside of there, but it contradicts a lot of the statements by other astronauts and scientists that claim that that was like one of the biggest issues for our astronauts getting to the moon. And yes, the geocorona is a new kind of Mexican bear. That's a good one. All right, Desert Rat. Richard Hoagland pissed away his reputation, blowing the doors wide open, and he hasn't stopped looking. Yeah, Hoagland's a tool, man. I've really, I respected him, and then I just kind of started to see him for who he is, and I think he's a classic disinformation agent. I think they've got all their bases covered out there, and the intelligence community does a damn good job at doing that. Okay. And Birdie, I know that perspective is a deception. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And I've said this in another stream, I believe it was a stream or maybe one of my videos, that I do believe that the moon could be perceived through individual perceptions, which is a real freaky thought. So like if you're standing in a certain area and you make say you go X amount of miles, this and that, I think it lines up with like either your eyesight or somehow links to your consciousness. I mean, this is a really out there thought, and I don't really know if it's true, but I suspect it's a possibility. I don't claim to know for sure, but Birdie, improvement every day. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Junko, laugh out loud. We can't get to the moon. Meanwhile, Elon Musk sends Tesla to Mars. Exactly. Please. I know, it's ridiculous. That whole he's just a shill. That guy, he's terrible. And everyone listens to everything he says with bated breath. All right, guys. If that's about it, I'm gonna probably take off. But I just wanted to give you an update on some moon research that correlates with a few things I said, and a bunch other people say this too, so I'm not the only one. A lot of other people suspect it. A good person to maybe look up would be Crow 777. He has some theories on the moon, and he's done a lot more research than I have, and he's been doing it way longer. And he's got some great videos of thing called the lunar scanner. If you've never seen that, check it out. It's Crow, CRROW 777. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. And he's definitely worth subscribing to. And he does a podcast, I think, once a week or twice a month, something like that, which is pretty good too. And it covers all sorts of different things, conspiracies and, you know, our reality and all that stuff. All right, so I hope you guys had a good time here, and I really appreciate you showing up. And I will see you on the flip side. Bless.